Hey, listen!
Welcome everyone, this is On Just Restart, and this time we're talking about what I think is a relatively huge issue with the online and Kirby's Return to Dream Land Deluxe. So firstly, let me just say that I think Kirby's Return to Dream Land Deluxe is actually looking like a pretty quality remaster or remake, whatever you want to define it as. But when you take a look at the visual enhancements, some of the character redesigns, the new enemies, the new copy abilities, the new mini-games, like this is looking like a pretty solid package here. They had a pretty good amount of effort put into it. It's not just like a quick cash grab. That's not what I perceive of this game. It's looking like a quality effort. So when I take a look at what they have to offer for the online portions of the game, it's kind of a head scratcher for me because this is definitely lacking in effort for whatever reason. So even though the game touts cooperative play throughout the campaign and also multiplayer with the mini-games, and this is supposed to be like a big feature for the game, there's no real online component to it. This is what the actual online component entails. Hop online to see global fun facts or compete against player records from all over the world in Samurai Kirby 100. Samurai Kirby 100 is just one of the mini-games. So you can just see the leaderboards for that one particular minigame, and then there are fun facts. That's the extent of the online, apparently, for Return to Dream Land Deluxe, which I find to be really peculiar, because I don't think adding online would have required that much extra effort. And one of the reasons I bring up that this looks like a quality remaster is because there is effort being put into this. So why couldn't they go just that little extra mile? It's a head scratcher to me. Kirby 64, which is on Nintendo Switch's online expansion pack, you can play that game. Every game on Nintendo's online expansion pack, you can play the multiplayer games online. And this is just my perception, but my perception is that didn't take that grandiose of an effort. So why couldn't they do that for the premiere release in February of 2023? I just don't know. It's a strange situation to me, and this isn't the first time we've seen Nintendo do this. Kirby's Forgotten Land, love that game, one of my favorite games last year. I think it's my favorite Kirby game of all time. It deserves to be the best-selling Kirby game of all time. It's that good. I highly recommend it. But one little issue in the game that I also thought was weird at the time was that you can play cooperative play, but you can't do it online. They have this awesome side character in Bandana Waddle Dee. You can play cooperatively. It's amazing. It's fun. But I only dabbled with Bandana Waddle Dee for a few minutes because I had no one else to really play the game with. But had I had an online component that I could play cooperatively with someone else who liked the game, that would have been amazing. But that option wasn't there, so I missed out. And I'm sure a lot of other people missed out as well. And on the note of missing out, let's talk about another example of Nintendo making a weird decision with their multiplayer focus. Because it's not like every single Nintendo game has these weird decisions. Like most multiplayer games have both offline and online play, but there are recurring examples of Nintendo making weird decisions with their games. So the example I'm bringing up is Splatoon. Splatoon is an online multiplayer focused game. So it has online. I'm not trying to argue it doesn't have online, but it actually is lacking in the opposite. So they make sure to have a single player campaign and they have a number of online modes, but there's so little content when it comes to local multiplayer. And if you're like a typical Splatoon fan, you may not care that much. But there is a large audience on Switch that is very casual and are just looking for a typical sort of fun split-screen multiplayer shooter game, because there's a huge history of those existing, and Splatoon is like the Nintendo shooting game, so it not having split-screen multiplayer is a real head-scratcher. And I've seen a lot of people ask me about this. Years ago I made a video about this, and I wasn't trying to complain about Splatoon, because I love the Splatoon series. I think it's worthy of great praise, but something I noted was that it's lacking in split-screen. And what happened? Well, that video caught fire, because apparently there's a lot of demand for this. So it's just interesting how we've seen throughout history of Nintendo and their online games, or lack thereof, that they make these weird decisions that I think ultimately hurt the experience for a large audience that would be playing these games. And I just don't know why they would do this. Like, for example, with Splatoon, if they added split screen and they were to market that, there would be a lot of families that would buy Splatoon so they could play with their kids and such. A lot of families don't because of that. And you take a look at Kirby's Return to Dream Land Deluxe, a lot of people arguably won't get the best experience of the game because if you're like me, if you get this game, you're probably just going to play it by yourself. Now, in fairness, I do tend to prefer single-player games, but I've heard that when it comes to Return to Dreamland, it's better with friends. So, I'm just a little confused. I don't know why Nintendo does this. I can speculate, maybe it's because they want to market cooperative play locally, so they felt like having online might take away from it. Was it just too much effort to put that in there? Was it they were worried that playing online with other people and it being more of a kid-friendly game would be a weird decision? Maybe it could be that, but I don't see how that would hurt them if there's no messaging in there. So I still think it's very perplexing. But what do you guys think? What do you make of this situation? Again, I'm not trying to attack Kirby's Return to Dream Land Deluxe. I think it's a quality remaster, but there's this one element of the online that I just think is strange, and I'm curious what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below. Anyways, everyone, this is Andres Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.